Hey guys, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today I have a very special guest from Amarillo, Texas, Haley Sutter. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, David. I appreciate it.
Well, I've been tracking you for a while now, and I'm glad to finally get you on the show. So let's talk a little bit about you and your phenomenal real estate business out there. So, Haley, you've been a realtor, I think, for like 7 years or something like that, right?
Yes,
Uh,
sir. 7 years.
I caught it in the sweet spot. I don't know. I consider you a veteran, but you're not. But you're kind of in between a rookie veteran, but you're having tremendous success. And so I just kind of want to talk about your journey, see what's going on out there, and stuff. But let's start off. What'd you do before this? Before you became a realtor? What were you doing? What made you get into real estate? And
Yeah.
let's start from the beginning.
Okay, awesome. So, oddly enough, I was actually a massage therapist before this. I had a business that I ran for 5 years while I was working on getting my business degree. Prior to that, I had done really a little bit of everything. I was in restaurant management, tech support, customer service, collections, annuities. I sold insurance for a while. I would tend to get bored. I would get as high as I could get at a company and then go somewhere else and move up the ladder. So after that, I opened my business, worked on my business degree, and I'm like, okay, I can do something different that I haven't done with my business degree. Little did I know I had already done everything that my business degree would allow me to do. And one of my clients was an agent. We were sitting there talking one day. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do once I get my degree. And I had also just gone through a horrible, horrible real estate transaction with me and my husband buying and selling a house. And it was awful. So I was kind of venting to him about that. And he's like, well, why don't you get your real estate license? We always talk about the market. You ask about investing in real estate every time I'm in here. Why don't you get your license? I don't think he realized that 6 weeks later I would have my license in hand. And 6 months later, I shut my doors to my business and went full time. And I had 800 clients at that time, and I just shut my doors and went full time. And
Could
that's
you
how
not
it
sell the
started.
business, or is there not no
There
market for it?
really, yeah, there's really not a market for that with massage. I did kind of look into that and I ended up referring a lot of my clients to some of my other friends who were massage therapists and stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, not really a way to sell a massage business and make money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was one of those, well, let's just move on.
well, let's talk about this. A lot of people say it takes 2 or 3 years to get going in real estate. You don't know what you don't know. A lot of people say they had to supplement their first couple years and stuff like that. You, on the other hand, young lady, a little bit different story. I think you hit the
Yeah.
ground running. We talked a little bit offline and just blew it up. How did you? What'd you do? You got into the real estate business, and because we talked about it, you weren't buying leads. You were just,
No.
hey, I got my real estate license. Now what do I
Yes,
do? Went and
yes,
did. So what'd you
yes.
do to start off with?
So first off, when I started, I was like, okay, I can do this part-time. I can still do massage. I realized very quickly that that was unrealistic. If I wanted to actually do this as a career and excel at it, which I truthfully loved it. The terminology, everything when I was going through my licensing, it just came very natural to me. So I put in the work. I ended up finding a really good broker. I'm very, very thankful for my first broker that I had. And I told him, I want to sell 36 houses my first year. And he's like, okay, so this is what we're going to have to do. You're going to have to call X number of people a day. And he got me the expired and for sale by owner list. And that's what I did. I called and I called and I called.
How
And
many?
my first
How many people a day? Not to just interrupt you.
Oh my gosh, 4 hours a day, every day. So I was in coaching as well. So what we would do, we would get up in the morning, do our little workout routine, and then we would jump on the phone and we do role play for 30 minutes. So from 7:30 to 8, I would role play. And then I would go to the office. And then from 8 to 12, I called and called and called and called. And I would set appointments. And actually started with listings, believe it or not, not with buyers. So my very, very first one, I remember my first listing that I got was December 31st. So I had had my license for 30 days. at that point, and I got my very first listing, and my broker was just like, "Oh my gosh, like you're doing it backwards. You got listings instead of buyers." And I just really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of hard work. I did go through coaching. I went with Yes Masters. I flew out to California 3 times in my first 2 years. We did a List Master program and coaching program and everything like that. And I got their 6-figure award with my first full year of real estate doing that. But it was truthfully a lot of hard work, a lot of phone calls. It does not come easy. Business does not fall in your lap. You have got to go get it.
How long did you have to make 4 hour a day phone calls? How long did that
two
usually?
years.
For 2 years. The reason why I
Two
share
years.
that because it wasn't a gift. It was a lot of hard work. There's a lot of new agents out
Absolutely.
there that sit there and say, "Hey, what's something you can tell me to do to help grow my business?" Well, we're giving trade secrets right now because here
Yes,
you
pick up the phone.
make $100,000 your first year, but you know what? It's really hard to call 4 hours a day, all day, and you could go
Mhm.
days without getting anything, zero.
Yeah.
But you're just building those building blocks on top of that. That's what makes you so unique. So I love that you're imparting some of your knowledge to these new realtors out there. So
Yeah.
100,000, and then you kept growing your business and growing your business, and here we are today, 7 years later. So are you a native of Amarillo?
I am born and raised. I have been here my whole life, never left. I had several people try and get me to leave, but no, I never left. I actually really enjoy it here. It's a different pace of life. It still has that small town city vibe, but we've got, 220,000 is our population now. So we're growing.
Yeah, it's growing like crazy, right?
Hmm.
It's a lot of people. I mean, I think all over the state of Texas, small towns are becoming big towns.
Yes.
People are moving here from Texas in droves. Are you noticing that it used to be just interstate? Are you getting a lot of out of state people now coming to Amarillo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually just closed one earlier this week with a relocation client from California. I've had Georgia, Florida, New York. I mean, literally all over has been moving to our area. It's honestly pretty cool to see the growth and just the diversity that's coming in. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. So let's talk about that. I see your production. You're about 50% listing, 50% buyer. Also, you do it all. You don't. I say with the amount of production you're doing, again, guys. I think number 7 or 8 in Amarillo Realtor. Um, I don't see how you do it, but you obviously do it. Have you thought about growing a team or building a team or whatever? Because there's only 24 hours in a day, Haley.
Right. So I have a lot of really good systems that I put in place. That was something that I noticed very quickly. My first year, I did 17 transactions, and then I think I went to 35 or 36 my second year. My third year was 67.
Yeah.
So I'm close to 300 transactions, and it's one of those things when you have 8 or 10 or 12 or however many transactions per month, if you don't have systems in place to put automated checklists, what you need to be doing, your date fields, checking all that information, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So that's one thing I definitely do pride myself on is making sure I have all those systems in place. And I don't do it alone. I mean, I have some phenomenal title agents and partners, other realtors locally that, can help if I need to. I've got a phenomenal brokerage that I'm at right now as well. And my husband's an investor too, so we kind of have a really unique option for people when they're selling. They can get a as is cash offer price and walk away from the house, or we can list it as it is or do some repairs and list it after that. So that really helps too.
That's awesome. I didn't realize. So let's talk a little bit about your husband. So married? How long you been married?
Oh gosh, let's see. We are on 8 years. We've been together since 2015. So quite a
Oh, kind
while.
of
Yeah.
got married and then got into real estate. And has he always been an investor? Or?
No, no, he has not. He was actually in the diesel industry. Um,
Okay.
kind of wild story there. We had some health stuff happen, and then after that, it just got to be where the diesel industry is just not the healthiest environment long term. A lot of stress, a lot of long working hours, and I had a lot of investors I worked with. I'm like, you could do this. You could really do this. And finally, he's like, okay, let's try it. So it really just worked out very well. He's a very good people person. So he helps me a lot sometimes if I'm struggling. I'm like, how do I say this? And, he's very intelligent on that side of things. So he's kind of like my private coach.
Maybe he needs to get his real estate license.
Oh no. We've talked about it. If he did, I think it would be more for like commercial real
Yeah.
estate. But we have rental properties as well. So when we do stuff like that, he's either looking at it as keeping it as a rental. Sometimes we do fix and flips, things like that. So it really just gives us that unique opportunity there. As far as if he did get licensed, there's a lot of other rules and things he'd have to do and play by that would change that dynamic for sure.
So the reason why I want to go down this road is, did it just start with one house? Was it like, hey, we're going to invest in one house, and it just grew from there, his investment?
Yes, it did. So we actually did, we had a rental property, and this is kind of like to way backtrack. We
Yeah.
had our personal house that we turned into a rental. This was before I was licensed. We turned it into a rental. After I was licensed, we had our renter who was moving out, and we're like, okay, well, let's fix it and sell it. We didn't really have an option. We had a really rough renter on our property, so we accidentally had to flip it just to be able to sell it. So that was kind of our first experience doing that. And then we ended up buying like a little lake house out by one of the lakes out here that we were like, oh, we'll make this an Airbnb. It'll be great. Oh my goodness, we say that was our college tuition. We did not do well on that one. It was one of those things. It was just a very long journey. Our timeline went from 12 weeks to 12 months. The market shifted. We did way more than we planned. And it just taught us a lot. So after that, we kind of figured out we're going to stay in Amarillo because that was in Fritch. Stayed here in our local market. He got a local coach who is an investor, has been doing it for 30 plus years, that helped him on that side of it. And then he had me to fall back on for listing prices and stuff. And it's so funny. His first house, I think he bought for $5,000. And then we ended up, yeah, believe it or not, I think he sold it for 25,000. So that was his very first one that he did. So yeah, it just grows
What was
from
the
there.
market? You bought a house for $5,000, or all the, because you know what I hear all the time? No one just goes in, except for you, Haley, catch lightning in a bottle and success from day one. Most people have a lot of failures before they reach success, and it sounds like that was definitely his journey, which is awesome. But let's talk about you. There's a lot of realtors out there. Why are you? What makes you special? What is it about you that everybody's attracted to? Because everybody's attracted to you. Everybody wants to do business with you. What makes you unique? What makes you unique, Haley?
I think part of it, for one, I'm very honest when it comes to the data. I'm an analytical person. I look at the data, very data driven. So when I'm meeting with clients, I don't sugarcoat things. Not everybody likes that. I mean, I have lost some potential listings over that because I am very honest, and not everybody wants to hear that. But truthfully, I think that is one of my strongest things, is that I can tell it like it is. I can let you know what we need to do to get the house sold, where we need to price it, market and advertise it accordingly, and actually get you moved, and do that all with good communication and customer service.
I'm glad you said that, because we just talked about you're still getting multiple offers on your listings, and there's other listings that's been sitting there 60, 90, 120 days, whatever the case is. Us in the industry, you know what that tells me? It's not priced right. Everybody has an ideology of what they want for the house. We all want as much as possible, but the market dictates what it's worth, or what someone's willing to pay for.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's where having an expert like you, that's very data driven, that it's actually, it's not, you're not just throwing a dart at a board. You're
Right.
actually with real data that says, yes, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, your house was worth X, but today it's worth this. That's hard. That's hard for some people to digest. That
Yeah.
we've seen a market for the last, what, 5 years of it just going like this, and
Yeah.
this is the first year we've seen a decline.
Yeah.
And so it's just the data is the data, and having someone like you that's honest. That's why you're still moving houses while others are sitting. You know, I commend you for that. Let's talk about the market in Amarillo. How is it?
It's pretty strong. To me, it seems pretty strong. We do have a lot of industries here. We have a lot of growth that we have happening. I mean, we're a big trucking hub. We've got Bell Helicopter, Pantex. We just got a Bucky's, so I guess we're officially on the map with Bucky's.
It's, what's the average price point out there for homes?
250.
Wow,
250 is our median. Yep.
no wonder people
So
are.
very affordable.
Yeah, especially since housing's gone up so astronomically. You know, I think here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, it's 400,000 is the average.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just one of those things that everybody's saying affordability for housing and everything else. So as we sit here, what is it? It's September. Is today the 4th?
Fourth. Yeah.
2025. We're about to enter the fourth quarter of the year. Now we just gone through summer, and here's what I tell everybody. It as soon as school gets back up, it kind of drops, but then it kind of picks back up again. Especially now that interest rates are dropping a little bit. What are you seeing out there?
So for our last quarter of the year, we do see that slow down when school starts. But then what we see is a pickup October, November, December.
Yep.
Truthfully, I think it's a great time for sellers during those times because you have your absolute most serious buyers that are out there looking at houses in the last quarter. Because you've got to think, not everybody wants to go house hunting during Thanksgiving and Christmas. So those people that are looking have to move. And a lot of sellers pull off the market at that time. So I think it's a great time to actually take some opportunity there and sell.
That's awesome. Well, end of the year coming up, another great year for Haley. What is 2026? Any big plans or just steady Eddie, continue your real estate journey?
So I have looked into getting my broker's license. I'm not sure I'm going to pursue that, to be very honest, but that is something I'm potentially looking at. I really like the brokerage I'm at. So if I do, I would just stay a broker associate. But more than anything, I think just us growing our rental portfolio, keeping working, those kind of things. I want 100 doors so that we can retire early and not have to work. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have a client that you want to work with, or do you just work with everybody?
I work with everybody if you're nice. You've got to be nice.
I love it. Hey guys, if you're mean,
Yeah.
don't call Haley.
Yeah, don't call me if you're mean. No, I really love helping people. I do have a lot of success with houses that have been tried to sell before that for whatever reason they didn't sell. Expired is kind of a niche for me. And then relocation clients, I have a lot of relocation buyers that I work with moving into our area. I also do virtual showings with those clients, and I'm going to tell them everything about the house that they can't see. Like even if it stinks, I'm going to tell you if it stinks while we're doing a video call, looking at the property, so they can have a realistic idea of, what they're really buying before setting foot in it.
Honest Haley. That's what I'm gonna start calling you. That's why.
There you go.
That's awesome. Well, Haley, we could sit here and talk to you all day, but you got people to see, and we're entering your Monday, which is the weekend, which is the beginning of
Right.
in real estate week. What should we talk about that we did talk about today, Haley?
Let's see. So we've talked about Amarillo, how it's growing, how I got into the business, investor side of things. Biggest thing I would really say, if y'all are ever thinking about growing your net worth or growing your business, I truly 100% believe that real estate is the absolute best way to do that. Is the biggest net worth builder, and it is one of the few things out there that holds its value long term in comparison to a lot of stuff other than gold. We all know gold. But that's what I would say. If you have questions about investing or just wanting to know how to get into that real estate side of things, I work with a lot of new investors to help you figure out what that looks like and help you be successful.
Well, Haley, if the people out there want to find you, and I know they do, how do they get hold of you?
My website is soldbyhaley.com. And then you can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, Sold by Haley or Sold Haley Sutter will pull me up there. Honestly, just Google me. You'll find all my socials.
And you can, we'll put that across the lower third so people can find you easily, Haley. Well, I'm David Wynn. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.